sounded like you wanted the bill to pass.
Of course I wanted the bill to pass, my amendment to pass. What my amendment did is take citizenship off the table, but it doesn't mean it doesn't mean that I supported the other aspects of the bill.
I want immigration reform to pass, and that allows those who are here illegally to come in out of the shadows.
That amendment would have allowed undocumented immigrants to remain in the U.S. permanently and obtain legal status. So how do you square that circle?
Actually, Brett, it wouldn't have.
People want to take back their country. We want to do it in a humane way, but we have to have a country.
Donald Trump via the airwaves with a new attack on Ted Cruz concerning the junior senator from Texas and his immigration record, accusing him of backing amnesty. The bitter battle continuing within the Republican Party. Meantime, on the other side, Democrats really don't appear to like having to choose between Hillary Clinton and Bernie Sanders. So what can we expect in our next presidential election? Well, our next guest says 2016 will be the most profound election since the one way back in 1896. Let's find out why. And to find out why, we welcome in from Fort Collins, Colorado, the founder and CEO of Lameriro Economics, Gerard Lameriro. He's the author of the book, Great News for America. The Constitution, freedom, and prosperity are coming back. Gerard, it's great to have you, and I'll call this Confessions of a Recovering. It's wonderful to be with you and to see you face to face, and I just got to face up to the facts, confess something. Every time I was on the stump, I said, this is the most crucial election. The idea being that I wanted to stay in office or get into office. Why truly is 2016 crucial and, in your view, historic?
Well, I've done a lot of research. I've spent a year getting this book ready. And let me tell you, I went back to 1789 and I looked at every presidential election that was big, was historic, was critical, you name it. And I found something that surprised me. I wanted to learn a lot to sort of get myself ready for 2016. And I found a pattern. There is a pattern that exists with very particular characteristics. And it happens prior to every historic and critical election. And we are in that pattern right now. And all of these events that seem strange to people and unexplainable to many people are actually quite explainable if you look at the history of this country and see what we've seen.
And not only do you take a historical perspective, Gerard, but you also issue a few laws, one being the law of optimistic vision, that the candidate who presents the most optimistic vision for our nation will usually win. Now, who offers that now? Trump has the slogan, Make America Great Again. Is that part of the optimistic vision?
Yes, but actually that isn't what makes it critical or historic. Let me just define some terms so people know what we're talking about. A historic presidential election is one in which the voter turnout is historic, meaning very, very high. In 1896, it was about 79.2% turnout. I predict this year, both in percentage terms and in numbers, we will have the greatest turnout, voter turnout, we've had in the history of the United States. The reason why we have this kind of historic turnout is because the anger level, the frustration, the upsetness of the American voter is extraordinarily high, not like we see in a normal election. Also, the word critical. When I use the word critical, I have something very specific in mind that I talk about in the book. A critical presidential election is one in which the political parties are realigned dramatically. In 1896, the country was in terrible shape. Some people thought the Constitution would not survive. We had the Panic of 1893 with 15,000 economic bankruptcies. In those days, that's a lot of businesses to go out of business. And we have that same pattern now where we have tremendous angst, anxiety on the part of the electorate, and it will be a critical election, and I make 10 surprising predictions in the book. One of those predictions is the end of the Republican Party as we know it.
Well, when we hear that I'm sure will get a lot of folks watching us right now, Gerard, go out and pick up your book. Obviously, there is apparently a realignment at hand, but that would seem to suggest that the Republicans will not be successful. In the 30 seconds that remain, what do you think will happen Election Day? Do you have an idea who will be our next president?
I actually believe I do. I don't know that I've said that too often in too many places.
Well, make some news. Tell us now.
Well, I think it's going to be a conservative landslide, and I think we're going to be watching Ted Cruz be sworn into office, and I have lots of reasons why.
Well, good. We will bring you back to talk about those reasons as the campaign continues. For now, Gerard Lameriro from Fort Collins, Colorado. Again, the name of his book, Great News for America, The Constitution, Freedom, and Prosperity Are Coming Back. Hey, what do you think of what Gerard had to say? Agree or disagree? We would love to get your comments, and here's where you send me your comments, newsmaxtv.com/comments.